The Forgotten Mecha Masterpiece, The Complete History of Five-Star Stories Model Kits, 1980 to 2026. The Five-Star Stories is a landmark Japanese science fiction manga series created, written, and illustrated by Mamoru Nagano. It is primarily a manga that began serialization long before its anime adaptation, which consists of a single 1989 theatrical film, often called the OVA-style, released in some contexts due to its length and production. Origins and creation history. Mamoru Nagano developed the series after working on the Mecha anime Heavy Metal L-Gaim, 1984 to 1985, where he handled mechanical design. Toward the end of that project, Kadokawa approached him about expanding some ideas into a storybook or manga. Nagano decided to create it independently as his signature work, drawing from elements he explored in L-Gaim, but established the Five-Star Stories as a distinct universe with no direct narrative connection to it. It debuted in the April 1986 issue of Kadokawa Shoten's New Type magazine, serialized starting around April 10th, 1986, and continues to the present day, making it one of the longest-running manga in its niche. As of the 2020s, it has reached 18 volumes in Japanese tonkobon format, though the story is famously sprawling, nonlinear in parts, and still ongoing. Nagano has described the series as having a fractal nature, dense, self-similar layers of lore that reward deep reading. A notable hiatus occurred from the late 2004 to 2013 after resuming the setting underwent a soft reboot to better align with Nagano's 2012 anime film called Gothic Maid, a prequel of sorts in the same continuity. Earlier volumes, roughly 1 through 12, are sometimes called the old setting, while later ones reflect the new setting, with changes like renaming mortar heads to GTMs, Gothic Maid, and Fatimas to AF Automatic Flowers. English release have been limited and collector-oriented. Nagano's own company, Toy Press, produced earlier translations, often splitting volumes into multiple books with extensive color art, timelines, and lore notes. A new English edition from Titan Comics Publishing Group is scheduled to begin in 2006, starting with Volume 1. Story setting and core elements. This series is set in the Joker Star Galaxy, or Joker Galaxy, a small stellar region with 4 solar systems. Long ago, the powerful Pharaoh Canaan super empire unified them, but after its fall, the region fragmented into a quasi-feudal society of kingdoms, duchesses, emperors, and knights amid constant intrigue and warfare. Key elements include mortar heads, MHS, giant ornate mecha that function like mechanical knights or Hoot Kotor war machines. They're piloted by elite headliners and are much symbols of status, artistry, and chivalry as weapons. Designs draw from European knights, Japanese samurai, and other historical aesthetic influences, making them highly detailed and distinctive. Nagano emphasized aesthetic and symbolic value alongside functionality. Fatimas, genetically engineered female androids or biocomputers with emotions and high computational abilities. They serve as essential co-pilots, navigators for mortar heads, forming deep, often romantic, and destined bonds with their headliners. They are central thematic element involving artificial life, partnership, and humanity. Central characters, the immortal Amistaros, god emperor of the Greece kingdom, god of light, and his destined Fatima bride, Lachesis, anchor much of the epic. The story spans millennia with anachronic ordering, massive casts, political intrigue, romance, and philosophical undertones. Nagano provides extensive timelines extending far into the future, e.g. to the JC 7777 character notes and supplementary lore that often reveal past and future events. Major story arcs include Destiny 3 Fates, focusing on Lachesis, Cthulhu, Atropos, named after the Greek fates, Traffics and the Chivalries, and the Majestic Stand. The narrative mixes space opera, mecha action, feudal drama, and intimate character moments. Anime adaptation, 1989 film. The anime is not a TV series or multi-episode OVA, but a single 66-minute theatrical film, released on March 11th, 1989 in Japan. Double billed with the Utsunomiya. It was produced by Sunrise, directed by Kazuo Yamazaki, with a screenplay by Akinori Endo and music by Tomoyuki Asakawa. It adapts the first major arc, Destiny 3 Fates, Lychesis, roughly the content of the early manga volumes. The feature film, high-quality 1980s Sunrise animation, with stunning mecha sequences and designs, though some colors were altered for animation friendliness. Voice casts include talents like Ryo Hirokawa and Maria Kawamura, Nagano's wife, who also contributed to related concept albums. It was licensed in the West by ADV Films. The reception, it earns generally positive but mixed reviews, around 7 to 7.1 on sites like ANN. Strengths include visuals, mecha designs, and epic ambition. Criticisms center on its condensed runtime, heavy info dumps, cliffhanger ending, and challenges in conveying the manga's dense lore and scope in under 70 minutes. It serves as a stylish introduction but cannot replace the manga for full depth. Nagano has also released concept albums tied to the series, and the Gothic Maid 2012 expands the universe as a prequel. Analysis and legacy. The five-star story stands out for its ambitious world building. Nagano treats it like a living mythology or historical chronicle rather than a straightforward plot-driven story. Events unfold across thousands of years with detailed political, technological, and cultural layers. Supplementary materials, color illustrations, timelines, character profiles, and tonkobon are integral, making it all there in the manual yet immersive. The nonlinear, anachronic structure and vast cast can overwhelm newcomers, but they enhance the sense of a grand fractal tapestry. Mecha design is a highlight. Motorheads are elaborate, almost baroque or knightly, prioritizing beauty and symbolism over pure military pragmatism. Nagano studied historical armor and aimed for designs appealing to both adults and children. This aesthetic influenced later mecha works and remains celebrated for its originality. Themes explore immortality, destiny, artificial humanity via Fatimas, chivalry and decay, power, love, partnership, and the cycles of empires. It blends hard sci-fi, genetic engineering, interstellar travel, with fantasy-like feudalism and romance. The cultural impact, it has dedicated cult following, especially among mecha enthusiasts, for its uniqueness and depth. Model kits, vinyl resin of the mortar heads are highly prized. Nagano's influence extends to younger creators in industry. Its slow pace, density, and ongoing status have kept it niche outside dedicated fans, but it is revered as a magnum opus in Japanese sci-fi manga circles. Recent English re-release signal renewed interest. In short, manga first, 1986, ongoing with a single notable 1989 anime film as an adaptation of its early chapters. The manga is the definitive experience, epic, visually stunning, and richly detailed in a way few series match. If you're diving in, start with the manga. New English volume is forthcoming, and use the film as a visual companion for the opening arc. Its complexity rewards patience and multiple readings. The model kit history for the five-star stories centers almost exclusively on the Mortarheads, and in newer Gothic Maid continuity, GTM's Gothic Maid, these are the ornate, knight-like mecha central to Mamoru Nagano's manga. Unlike mainstream mecha series, e.g. Gundam, FSS kits have always been a niche, high-end market dominated by garage kits, resin casts, rather than mass-market injection plastic. Nagano reportedly preferred controlled, high-quality releases over broad. Late 1980s, early 1990s, the garage kit boom begins. Model kits emerged shortly after the manga's 1986 debut and the 1989 anime film, riding the 1980s, 90s Japanese garage kit wave. Early kits were often resin, white metal, or even soft vinyl produced by small workshops, Toy Express, Nagano's company, and collaborators. Iconic early subjects included the Knight of Gold, Red Mirage, Lead Mirage, and variants like Berlin and Cross Mirage, or Engage SR series. Scales were typically 1/144, smaller, more accessible, or 1/100th, larger, more detailed. Many were fixed pose with high part counts, requiring advanced skills in cleaning seams, putty work, and painting. Companies evolved. Wave, early on, various garage kits makers, and Ocean House, Kyoto, In limited capacities, some metal or hybrid kits appeared, reflecting the era's experimental techniques. These were expensive, limited run items sold at hobby events, Wonder Festival, or special shops. They remain highly sought after on secondary markets like Yahoo Auctions, Japan, or eBay, often commanding premium prices for unbuilt originals. 1990s to 2000, Wave and Volks dominate. Wave became a key player with 1/144th scale injection molded plastic kits. These were mainstream than pure garage kits, but still demanded skill. Some fixed pose or limited articulation. Popular releases include Knights of Gold version 3, Red Mirage. Variants include Syrian Cavalry and advanced mass production types. Engage SR1, SR3, Mirage, Lead Mirage, a longtime favorite kits from around 2000 are still referenced today. Wave kits are offered better accessibility and reissues over the years, making them entry points for many fans. Some had polycap joints for posability. Volks, a major Japanese hobby company known for resin figures and high-end kits, entered strongly with garage kits, particularly their high-spec garage kit SHGK line in 1/100th scale. These were fixed-pose resin masterpieces with exceptional detail, complex curves, and fidelity to Nagano's intricate designs. Volks also produced mechanical moving variants with some articulation and later solid art versions for static beauty. Resin kits for Volks and others, including limited workshop casts or recasts, filled the gap for series modelers. The market stayed cult-like due to the series density and the labor-intensive nature of building. Lots of sanding, priming, and multi-tone painting for Baroque aesthetics. Volks revolutionized FFS modeling with the IMS injection assembly motor head series line, starting around 2009 with subjects like the Bang, 1/100th scale injection plastic kits with advanced engineering inner frames, high detailed and better, though not Gunpow's simple assembly. Early kits still required painting and some experience. Later ones improved in snap fit aspects and user friendliness. Notable releases were Vashtu, the Black Knight, Bang Doll, V Siren Neptune, Stepter, KOG, Knight of Gold variants including A-Type, D2 Mirage, Delta Bruin, 3007, and many more. Volks expanded into 1/144 IMS as well, offering smaller, sometimes more approachable options. This shifted FSS from mostly resin to mix, with plastic kits providing broader appeal while retaining the series' reputation for complexity and beauty. Volks continues producing both IMS plastic and HSGK Sav resin lines. 2010s to 2020s, Gothic made shift and ongoing releases. With the manga new setting, Nagano's 2012 film Gothic Maid, kits began including GTMs, the involved rebranded Motorheads. Volks released GTM plastic kits such as Hold A17, Die Kaiserin, and others in the VSMS line. Resin kits for newer designs, for example, HL1 SR series, also appeared. Wave continued reissuing classic 1/144th plastic kits, e.g. Engage, SR3, Red Mirage variants into the 2020s. Volks announced roadmaps extending to 2027, including more MH GTM garage kits, e.g. Melola, Hyra, etc., and new IMS like the Knight of Gold equals Delta, Bruin 3000, 2025. Event limited 1/144th resin kits, e.g. Berlin, also continue. Other notes, third-party or smaller marketers occasionally produce resin kits, SH Studio, MK models, or refined recasts. Large or unique builds exist, e.g. massive Jigan Mirage Twin Tower Customs, but official lines stay focused. No major Bandai or Koto Bukiya mass market lines. It's still Volks Wave territory, supplemented by garage kits. Modern status, 2020s, 2026. As of 2025, 2026, Volks remains the most active with both plastic IMS and high-end resin. Wave reissues classics for newcomers. Kit range from relatively beginner-friendly 1/144th wave plastics to expert-level 1/100th Volks IMS resin that reward painting and detailing. Secondary market prices for older rare kits, especially unbuilt resin, can be high, sometimes hundreds of USD. Popular recommended starting points today: Wave 1 144th EG LED Mirage Engage SR3 Knight of Gold version 3, more accessible size and price. Volks IMS 1/100th or 1/144th for detailed and posability. Start with simpler ones. Avoid the very early IMS if you're new to complex builds. Resins for purists seeking ultimate fidelity. Building FSS kits is often described as more sculptural and rewarding than typically mecha kits due to its flowing lines, intricate surface details, and need for custom painting to capture the knightly haute couture aesthetic. Many modelers use them as display pieces rather than action poses. For the latest availability, check Volk's official website, Wave's catalog, or proxies like HLJ, Ami, or Volks USA. Older kits frequently appear on Yahoo Auctions Japan or Mercury using a proxy service. Hobby Japan has featured extensive build articles and lineups over the years. The history reflects the series itself: elegant, uncompromising, and deeply rewarding for dedicated fans rather than casual collectors. If you're planning to build, many YouTube unboxings, reviews, search specific kit names, plus builds or reviews show the real-world experience. Let me know if you want details on specific mortar heads or scale. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next video.